is no secret that choosing our words carefully is important, especially in English class. The types of words we use must depend on our personal style and what we need to communicate, of course, but also on the situation. In this way, words are just like clothes. You wouldn't wear a bathing suit to a wedding or a tuxedo to a pool.
Awkward.
You wouldn't speak the same way to your instructor or college president as you would to your cousin. You would not speak the same way to your grandmother as you would to a classmate. And of course, you would not write a college essay the same way you write a text to a buddy. This ability to switch between the way we communicate and present ourselves is called code switching. Being able to be conscious of your choice when you code switch gives you a lot of power and improves your ability to communicate intentionally and function well in a number of social situations. This doesn't mean you have to change your identity or personality. You are still you in a tuxedo or a bathing suit, but you have to find words suitable to the occasion. There are two ways we can think about selecting the words and overall language style we use to communicate. One way is to talk about diction. Diction is a fancy word for word choice. In English, most words have synonyms that can sound more or less formal. The least formal words, including slang terms and even swear words, are called low diction. The most formal words, the kind in the Constitution or in a course syllabus, are called high diction, and the ones we would normally use are called medium diction. For example, the word face is medium diction. It is appropriate for most occasions. If I want to sound really formal, sophisticated, or poetic, I could use a high diction synonym, such as visage or physiognomy. And of course, I can go low diction as well, with slang terms such as mug or grill. All of these words serve their purpose if only we pick the right word for the right time. For a class essay, we do not want to use low diction. It would be like showing up to class in a ratty t-shirt with fresh stains on it and no pants. Not exactly class appropriate. We also do not want to go too high diction. That would be like coming to class in a prom dress. It's too much. We want to be like Goldilocks. Not too high, not too low, just right. The second way to think about selecting words and overall language is a more formal system that helps us pick what kind of language to use. It's called language registers. There are 5 language registers in English, but we are not likely to use all of them in class. Let's go through them. The highest language register is called the frozen or static register. These are like formulas we repeat without ever changing them. Traditional wedding vows, some prayers, and some legal documents use the frozen register, but it will not serve us in a modern English classroom. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the intimate register. It involves language that would only be appropriate in the closest relationships, such as with family or in a romantic relationship. This involves pet names and inside jokes, and will not be appropriate in a classroom at any time. One step higher than that is the casual register. This might include some low diction words and is most appropriate with friends and peers. This register is better for the hallway or the home, but not for the classroom, unless you're having a very casual interaction. The 2 registers that work in the classroom are the formal register and the consultative register. Some people actually say that these registers are the same thing, but formal is for writing and consultative is for speaking. If you use the formal register, it usually means that you try to avoid abbreviations, use medium to high diction, write in complete sentences, and try to avoid first and second person. This is the way you would write a class essay. The consultative register is what people use at work or in the classroom when they are speaking in the context of performing their job or communicating with an authority figure. You definitely do not want to bring low diction terms in here. The reason we care about this is because once we are aware of the different levels of diction available to us and what registers are appropriate in which setting, we can make the best decisions about what kind of language to use in our classwork and beyond. For a formal essay in class, you need to use the formal register. That doesn't mean you have to now speak like you are writing a formal essay all the time. You can still text however you like, or joke around with your friends using whatever words suit the moment. In class, however, the rules of the formal register must prevail. So for a formal essay, try to follow these rules. Medium to high diction. Do not go so high that you sound like Shakespeare. Use the formal register. No unnecessary abbreviations and contractions. Do not instead of don't. United States instead of U.S. Spell out numbers when it's reasonable to do so. F-I-V-E, not the number 5. Complete sentences at all times. And if you must quote language that does not match the tone of the essay, make sure it is a quote in quotation marks and correctly attributed. Remember, no one is born speaking formal English or writing in it. Even the Queen of England has been known to use slang and pet names with her family members and close associates. The important thing is to assess the situation and use the language appropriate for what you are doing.